All right, let's talk about the part of the SAT reading section that makes a lot of people sweat, the paired passages. Seriously, it's one of the most intimidating parts of the test. But I promise, by the time we're done here, you're going to see how to flip this thing on its head and turn it into a major source of points. You know that moment, right? You flip the page and boom, two big blocks of text are just staring you down. It's so easy to immediately think, oh, great, twice the reading, twice the headache. Look, that's a totally normal reaction, but we're about to swap that anxiety for a rock-solid, step-by-step strategy. So, what's the SAT really trying to do here? They're not just checking if you can read the words. No. They want to know if you can juggle a few ideas at once. Can you understand one author's point, then see how a second author's point relates to it? Do they agree? Do they disagree? And this is the big one. Can you find the exact lines in the text that prove it? It's like a reading comprehension triathlon. Okay, so now that we know what we're dealing with, let's talk solutions. It's time to forget the panic. Honestly, all you need is a simple game plan that you can use every single time. Here's how you're going to walk in and tackle these things with total confidence. Step 1 is all about focus. Just read passage A. That's it. Your only mission is to figure out its main point, its vibe, and what the author's trying to do. For right now, passage B might as well not even exist. Just put it out of your mind. Okay, now for step 2. This is where the magic happens. You're going to read passage B, but you're not just reading it cold. You're reading it like a detective, with passage A fresh in your mind. You're constantly asking yourself questions. Let's say passage A blames an event on money issues. As you're reading passage B, you're thinking, okay, does this guy agree? Or does he think it was all about politics? Maybe he's just adding more detail. You're actively looking for those connections and contradictions. And finally, step 3, hit the questions, but do it strategically. Knock out the questions that are only about passage A or only about passage B first. Those are the easy wins. Then when you get to that big question asking how the authors would see each other's arguments, well, you've already done the hard work in step 2. The answer's already waiting for you. All right, if you really want to crush this section, you have to get inside the heads of the test makers. They build very specific, very clever traps into the answer choices. So let's pull back the curtain and learn their playbook. Once you see the tricks, you'll stop falling for them. These traps are basically designed to catch you if you're reading too fast or not paying close attention. A super common one is an answer that mashes up a true fact from passage A with a true fact from passage B to create one big lie. It sounds plausible, but it's totally wrong. Another sneaky one is an answer that's 100% true for one passage, but they're hoping you forget to check if it applies to the other one. And this right here, this is one of the biggest giveaways. The trap of extreme language. Think about it. These passages are usually from academic or historical sources. The authors are careful. They use nuanced language. So the correct answer is almost always going to sound moderate and reasonable. If you see an answer with a word like always, never, impossible, or completely, a giant red flag should pop up in your brain. Okay, so knowing the game plan and spotting the traps will get you a good score, for sure. But we're not aiming for good, right? We're aiming for a great score. So let's talk about the next level strategies that really separate the top scorers from everyone else. This idea is absolutely crucial. You have to be a textual detective. Your personal opinion, your inferences, what you think an author might believe, none of it matters. The only thing that matters is what is printed on that page. If you can't literally put your finger on a line or a phrase in the passage that proves an answer choice is correct, then it's not the correct answer. Period. These are the little habits that make a huge difference. First, never be afraid to go back and check the text. The best test takers do it constantly. It isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of precision. And here's a real game changer. Before you even look at the multiple choice options, try to answer the question in your own words. This creates a kind of filter in your brain. So when you do look at the choices, you're not getting tricked by their wording. You're just looking for the one that matches the answer you already found. So why are we spending all this time on just one question type? You might be wondering that. It's because the reward for getting this right is massive, not just for your score, but for your mindset on test day. 5 to 7. That's how many questions you can expect to be attached to a single paired passage set. In the world of the SAT, that is a huge chunk of real estate. Nailing these questions can literally give your entire reading score a major boost. It's a huge opportunity. But honestly, it's about more than just the numbers. The real win here is confidence. When you have a solid strategy for what you know is the hardest part of the reading test, you walk in without that sense of dread. You replace panic with a plan. And that feeling of control and confidence, it carries over and helps you on the entire rest of the test. Look, this isn't about just surviving the paired passages anymore. This is about owning them. You have the 3-step game plan, you know the traps to watch out for, and you've got the pro strategies. So really, there's only one question left to ask. Are you ready to turn the hardest part of the test into your biggest strength?